you take care of your teeth. It's not something that dentists just say. Your teeth, because of their connection to your nerves and your cardiovascular system, are directly tied to your heart health. So it is super important that you take care of your teeth, because if you don't, you're at a higher risk of heart attack, stroke, and cardiovascular disease the older you get.
Coffee's not good for you, blah, 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 so I stopped drinking it. What happened was I started getting headaches, right? And I didn't understand where the headache was coming from, but it's because I was having withdrawal symptoms, right? But coffee can become drinking coffee can become very addictive as well. There's no caffeine.
Some of you have set goals for the end of the year, yeah? The end of this year, 2023. So if you smoke e-cigarette, if you vape, if you do aerosoling, how may these action, yeah, affect the goals that you set for yourself?
We got 5 reasons to not start vaping. So it causes major health problems like mental health, heart disease, lung infection, cancer, etc.
Okay.
Then it changes you overall. That's another reason. Become addicted. You depend on this so much that it controls you, you know. Number 4, it causes you poor oral health problems, you know. Nobody want to see your dark gums, nasty teeth, you know. And your life begins to fade away.
It changes you because what do you mean by it? And what does it change?
That's actually a good question. So basically, what you mean by that, it makes you become a different person. You're not the same person as you used to be. When you keep doing the drugs, like the vaping and smoking, your like how you pronounce it, mentality? You begin your physical emotions, right? And your mental emotions begin to change. And you don't feel like the same person you used to be. And everything begins to fade away. Your life, your social life, friends, family. Everything you love to do, it begins to fade away.
And how does that, well, you said everything, how does that impact your joy? Like, how does the vaping and stuff, like, what is the correlation?
It takes away everything that you used to love. Everything you used to, adore for. Like, all, your, hobbies and what you like to do before. It just, messes you up, basically.
So do you think that there could be a way for you to be able to vape and still maintain a positive lifestyle?
If you want things to go back to the normal way you used to have, you should just stop doing it.
What topic did you choose?
We chose 5 reasons not to start vaping, taking nicotine, any of that. Just nicotine in general, you know.
Okay.
Our number 1 is a big risk to taking in nicotine is mental health problems that come with it. It can mess up the way your brain works. It can also stop the development process of your brain because let's say you take it young, your brain might not develop as fast as others, or it might just stop developing in general. It can also lead to lifelong issues such as having trouble peeing when you're older. Birth deficiencies. Your babies can come out looking funky. And number 2 is cancer. The cells in it's when the cells in your body just start reproducing too fast for your body to keep up with it, and weird things come out of it, like tumors and weird rashes all over your body and spots. It isn't pretty to be smoking or vaping because it can cause you cancer, and it's just really easy to just avoid doing it overall. If you know the risks, and if you have more than 5 brain cells, not to do it. And number 3, being able to experience more life without worrying about smoking or vaping. Smoking and vaping can take a lot of time out of your life. Let's say you want to hang out with your friends, and you're just and you want to bring your pen with you, and they're like, nah, bro, you can't bring it. They don't want you to be doing it because they care about you, so you just don't feel them, You can be free from your addictions. You have more time to do things you like. You have more time to do your hobbies. You have more time to do things that can actually benefit you in life. And you can also just save a lot more money instead of buying those elf bars, all those carts and stuff like that. You can save a lot more money than you think you would. Those $20, you can spend it on something else, going to Chuck E. Cheese. You can also lead a stress-free life without having to vape or smoke. There's other alternatives to coping with things. Like some people might correlate vaping with their coping mechanism, being like, oh, it's the only way I can take out my stress, the only way I can relax. There's a lot more other things to do. You can just take a walk, you can take a break from whatever you're doing. You know, you can do certain things to push yourself to do the things that you don't want to do, you know? And number 5, you can just live life, you know? You can find better things to do in life. You can find a positive reason to live, you know? And you know, you can just find out who you really are inside. And these are the drawings, you know. Vaping is for losers, no vaping. Right here is some cancer cells that are like spreading around. This and yeah.
And that beautiful
And that
flower.
flower.
Hold on, let's
No wait,
pause.
it's a flower and a neuron. Yeah.
Everybody, I present to you, no means no.
Woo! Aww. Okay. So the first way that we can say no to vaping in case someone is trying to peer pressure is you can establish your boundaries by like saying that you don't feel comfortable with that, and then they can like communicate with you about that.
Oh, the next one is distance yourself from smokers, because if you want to avoid something, you can't be around all the time, or you're gonna get tempted. So if you see someone smoking, you try the other one.
You can suggest an alternative activity, but like say you go play games instead of going.
You should be honest with them. Yeah. Reduce stressors and talk to a trusted adult. Like, take the things that like stress you out. Find another way to do it instead of turning to smoking, because that can seriously cause you to like fade away from certain things in your life. And it's okay to talk to somebody, because at the end of the day, anybody is better than nobody.
That was deep. And is that the conclusions?
Yes.
Say no to vaping.
Say no to vaping.
And smoking, everything.
Let's hold an applause for questions. We're opening the room up for questions. I do have a question. I believe that it was mentioned in your PowerPoint to just be in your presentation, not PowerPoint, to just be honest. Be honest about what?
I think it means like be honest with your feelings and how like you don't feel comfortable. Like if someone's trying to pressure you into something, you can be honest with them and tell them that that's not something you want to do or that you think would be good for you.
What about the people that are honestly curious about it? Like, you know, the people that are kind of on the fence, they may be a little hesitant. They might want to try it. They not want to try it. If they're being honest with themselves, they're curious. What advice would you have for them?
Educate the risks of vaping spending.
Do your research about what you put into your body, because that's something that can harm you now and in the future.
What do you guys mean by like reduce stressors? Like what define stressors?
So like if you have a lot of stressors in your life, that can be something that causes you to like be more open to reaching for vapes. So if you reduce the stress that you have in your life, like tests, or you could practice like mindful activities that help you be less stressed.